Yeah, I'll just say, man, I'm just truly grateful to have this opportunity to speak to the media. I don't take that for granted. For Coach Sweeney giving me this opportunity, not a lot of head coaches do that, and he allows me to be the head coach of my position. And one of my saying is, when you operate in your gift, you don't have to be at the head of the table. For wherever you sit or stand, the room will shift. And he's empowered, us as coaches, empowered me to be our authentic selves and be the head coach of our positions. And I'm truly grateful for that, and just grateful for this place. Obviously it's a personal investment for me because I played here, back in the late 90s. And, it's a special place. The synergy, the chemistry and the connection of our board, our president, AD, our fans. And we have passionate fans who support us through the good, the bad, and the ugly. The staff has been truly amazing. And it's the people that make the place. I can't say that enough. And just the way that coaches just really, create the purpose of our program, and that's to graduate our players and equip them with tools for life and have a great college experience and win college championships. And that's what it's been about. And I have a lot of respect for him and how he's built this program over the last, 17 years. And it's been a blessing. So I'm just truly thankful for that. And in terms of just being, the last couple of weeks, it's really been about teaching, growing, and developing our players and developing this team. And it starts with the coach being an example. It starts with us as coaching staff. And, our courage becomes their courage. Our enthusiasm becomes their enthusiasm. Our confidence becomes their confidence. And, our belief becomes their belief. And I think that showed up this last week against Troy. And a lot of things that you can't control, but we have to control the controllables. And we talk about that all the time, just being able to control our energy, our effort, our execution, and just staying inside out and just staying hungry and humble through this process. So I'm just truly grateful, once again for Coach and for Clemson and, for these players and staff and just truly excited to be here.
Anecdotally, it seems like not just a tackle, but across the whole defensive line, y'all are substituting earlier and more often than before. If that's accurate, maybe a window into the philosophy there.
I think the ability to be able to substitute is because, you have depth. And there's not a lot of drop-off in our depth. And when you have depth and when you have competition, it really elevates the room. And that's why, at defensive tackle specifically and at defensive end, guys have been playing really well because if you don't, there's somebody behind you that can step in and take your place very quickly. And I've really challenged these guys just this offseason, started back in January after the season was over with, just really being the true best version of themselves, and they stepped up the plate to be able to do that. And it just kind of shows you how leadership is important, and that starts with me as their position coach, and really challenging guys to not just talk about it but be about it, and that starts with your daily decisions and your daily habits. Many people can have goals. But if your daily habits and your daily decisions are not a reflection of what you want to accomplish, then it's just talk. And so, but yes, you're correct. Being able to rotate guys and the level of play not dropping off is huge, and that's a testament to having. Everybody talks about Peter Woods, they talk about K-Part, but that's a testament to having guys like Stefon Green and Amari Adams and Mekhi Williams-Lee and Heaven Brown-Shulin. Those younger guys, they elevate the room. Because they create competition. And that's one of the things I talk about when they first get here. Hey, we're all going to be brothers outside this room. But when you step on this field, man, it's your job to take that guy's position. And you got to create that environment and create that level of competition. Yeah, we're brothers outside, and yes, we're going to go out to eat. We're going to do some things that, help us bring closer as brothers. But when we step in this room, it's a competitive room, and it's all about beating those guys out. And, the competition never stops no matter where you go, and just really giving an example from what I've experienced, as a professional athlete, as a professional coach. Every year going to the NFL, they're going to draft somebody at your position that's going to come in and try to take your position. And just so it just comes down to standards and playing to a standard, preparing to a standard, and that's the way I lead.
You mentioned the competition. How has the Allin Green kind of emerged to be one of those co-starters for you guys week in and week out?
Just really proud of him. He's played some really high level of football. There's always room for improvement. and it's important that we stay hungry and humble as we continue to strive for greatness. And that's what it's about. It's never really over until the season's over. And so until then, we just stay hungry and humble, but just really, truly about truly proud of Stefon. He brings a lot of versatility, brings toughness, and he's an all three-down guy, and really proud of his development. And like I said earlier, it started this offseason with just how he trained and, how he focused on the small details of his game.
With Amari and Nick, just what have the last 2 weeks been like for him in your view, and what's kind of the next step for him to kind of work in?
Amari is just, a highly talented football player. Come from a really great program of winning, and he looks the part, and he works hard each and every day. But he's got to continue to develop and continue to know what to do, and that's my job to get him ready as a coach, and whatever that takes. Whether that means extra time at the practice, extra meeting time, and just doing the thing necessary to make him an elite player that we expect him to be. And he stepped up to the challenge, has had really good practices the last couple of weeks, and just really have to, fine-tune the minute details of his work and the minute details of our defense. And his confidence is obviously growing week to week. And the more his confidence goes and he puts it on tape, that he can execute within the defense, and the more he'll play. And so, but I'm really proud of him.
Coach Sweeney was talking about how Coach Allin came in and really led the alphas kind of in the room, the defensive staff. How have you seen him kind of get all of you guys as coaches kind of behind him or into the scheme?
I think, Coach Allin has been a truly bonus and a blessing to our staff, and just empowering us, really challenge us spiritually and as coaches each and every day. And, brings a lot of energy and tenacity, and I welcome that type of grit because of who I am as a coach and who I am as a person. I love the challenge. I love the grit. I love the tenacity that he brings to the table as a man of faith, which I think is tremendous. And he just really, man, made our defense better with him being here. And obviously we do it as a collective group, working together. And he's empowered me to, be the head coach of my position, like I talked about earlier with Coach Sweeney. And Coach Allen's done the same thing. Obviously, he's been a head coach before, he's been a coordinator at a high level. And, just really glad that he's here and just how he's kind of changed, not only us as a staff, changed the players and really challenging them and just challenging everybody and bringing the same juice each and every day. And so it's been awesome to have him here. And he's just made us better on and off the field.
Who brings more energy to practice and games, you, Coach Boulware, or Coach Allin?
Well, at games, I hear Coach Allin on the headset. He's not on the sidelines. But, I definitely got Boulware. He's got some energy, but, we all bring the juice collectively when necessary. I think when leadership is needed, you provide it. And we all lead in our own authentic ways, and that's just who we are. Each and every day, we're like that in staff meetings. We're like that at practice. We're like that on game day. And so, obviously being of us three has the least amount of coaching experience. But he's been a huge addition to the staff as well, and Coach Allin. But we all bringing the juice every day, challenging each other and getting after each other, and then obviously having fun in the process. So it's really been a joy to work with both of them.
Peter has gotten a lot of double teams. Mm-hmm. Obviously, what's your evaluation of him through 2 games?
You know what? When people have written on paper that you're a dudes are going to get double teamed, and you get double teamed because you got to put it on tape and each and every day. But it's just something that, he has to continue to go out and earn the double teams too. You want guys up front that demand double teams, and he demands it. And it just started in his off-season preparation, just him really attacking nutrition, attacking the weight room, attacking, his football instincts and watching more tape. But, at the end of the day, whether you double or not, you got to go make plays. When you sign up to play defensive line, you're going to get double teams. That's what you signed up for, to take on that 600, 700 pounds of play. And it's a gritty position for gritty people and gritty coaches. And so I take pride in that, but, there's a high level of expectation here and there's a standard. And regardless if it's a single block or combo block, he's expected to win. And that goes for everybody in our room.
On that note, what does the next step look like for Peter?
Just for him, he just got to stay hungry and humble. There's been a lot of things written about him, and but at the end of the day, I've just been challenging him. It's the game isn't played on paper; it's about what you put on tape. And he stepped up to the challenge. He's been putting it on tape, and that's all I care about. It's about what you're doing. It's about his habits and his mindset and being able to go out there regardless of what's going on around you and be a dominant football player and defend the blade of grass. And that's what it comes down to. And I think he's really stepped up to the challenge. I think having those other guys level play has made him better as well. Because at the end of the day, reputation and resume mean nothing to me. You got to show it every single year. And when you create that level of competition in the room, which we have, that anybody can come in there and step in. And that's just kudos to the guys like DeMonte Capehart, Stefon Green, Amari Adams, Vic Burley, and everybody else in the room, and even Champ Thompson just coming in and continuing to get better. It elevates everybody's level of play. And so I'm really proud of him, just the way he stepped up to the challenge. Just got to continue to go out there and put it on tape each and every week, and just don't get out work, and just put on tape, that you are what people, say you are, that you are what people have written about you. But it really comes down to how you play.
Talk about everything that's written down on paper. Coach James talked to us about rat poison and how hard that is to deal with. Is there a way that you deal with that with your players?
Now, rat poison. What are you talking about specifically?
In terms of Coach Saban would talk a lot about a lot of hype and people saying they're great.
Oh, okay, I got you. Reading newspaper clippings. Yeah, that was, that's okay. Got it. I just think really at the end of the day, you just got to stay inside out and ignore the noise, whether it be good or bad. I think you just got to focus on the now, and that's what comes down to. That's what's most important. And you have to look yourself in the mirror, and you have to take an inventory of yourself, your life, what you're listening to, and what you're reading, et cetera. And I just think that it's our players' job to go play. It's my job to coach. It's my job to get them ready, and they just need to focus on just focus on getting better every day, 1% better every day, and focus on the now and the things they can control. And what they can control is their energy, their effort, their execution, and how they think and how they prepare. And that's what matters the most. And just really overemphasize and, carrying on that message of, as you say, rat poison. But just, it can be if you allow it to be. But you control that yourself with how you think and what you read and how you process, information that's out there.
Is it harder to kind of, tell that to your players with, today's generation with cell phones, iPhones, internet, things like that? How do you try to maintain that focus for those players despite the today's generation?
It really just starts with me leading by example. I'm a coach that, I make my players, just have to really, put the cell phones down for they come in the meeting. Just really refocus them. We live in a world, obviously, social media is a big thing nowadays, but social media can make you very delusional as well. And I think it's really important to overemphasize the message that when they come in this building, it's about Clemson football. It's about getting better. It's about putting it on tape. It's about standards and expectations. And we have high standards here. And it's my job to continue to challenge them and refocus us. I start off every meeting, with a quote about life. And we talk about academics and we talk about responsibility. Those things are what matter. Obviously, the number one purpose of our program is to graduate our players and just really continue to overemphasize and reiterate Coach's message. And and I'm an extension of him. His messages are my messages, and it's my job to not only refocus my room, but refocus the defense and the team. Because you live in a glass house and everybody's watching, everybody's listening, and I'm just thankful in a place where not too many associate head coaches and defensive line coaches get to stand up in front of the media or stand up in front of the team and really address the team. And I've had those opportunities thanks to Coach. But yes, it is an issue if you allow it, but you can't, So if you allow it, you're encouraging it. You're encouraging it. So just don't allow it.
Got time for one or two more with Coach.
Nick, when you've studied this Georgia Tech team, a group that can really challenge you up front in the trenches, particularly on the ground, just in your evaluation of the tape, just what stands out to you?
I wonder when somebody's going to ask me about Georgia Tech. You know, man, you're talking about, you know, elite team across the board. I mean, obviously, this quarterback makes them go. They got a running back. They got a backup quarterback as well. Just being able to be prepared for both quarterbacks. I mean, they're elite, you know, and just the tight ends are big and physical. They got speed at wide receiver. Up front, man, they're tough, physical, relentless. You know, obviously, you can see the mentality of their head coach being a former offensive lineman who actually played at Georgia Tech during the same time I was here at Clemson. And, you know, they're just tough physical. It's going to be a huge challenge for us. And, you know, it's their scheme and, you know, what they do offensively is a lot. And so we got to really prepare with details and be prepared and be prepared for what they're going to do. And they got some big-time players over there. But it starts up front with the offensive line, and I think do a really good job of just, you know, combo block, you know, pulling, schemes, you know, et cetera, et cetera. They do it all. And they do it at a high level and do a great job. And so you can tell they're a very well-coached team, very disciplined team. You know, obviously they're averaging, you know, over 50 yards per game for a reason. And they've been putting it on tape. And so we got a huge challenge ahead of us. And so we just got to go out there and, you know, start today at practice and, you know, work on the things necessary to put us in the best position to win.
Nick, one final one. Go ahead, Charlie.
How does Tom Allin being in the box change stuff like for the other coaches, like job duty-wise? I mean, he mentioned, yes, that run down the hill and then get in the golf cart and go up to the press box. I mean, are there any funny tweaks at all, or and how much does that really change what you guys are doing on the field, if at all? You know,
in terms of running down the hill, that's just for his first game, him being a rookie coach, being here. That's not every week, but it really hasn't changed much of anything. Obviously, me being a co-DC, being on the sidelines, and just you know, being the best at my role and helping him with my eyes and the morale of the team on the sidelines and making necessary adjustments or bringing the defense up and just kind of just talking with them, or whether it's the staff, and it's our role as coaches that are on the sidelines to help him, you know, be successful, to help us be successful, to help our players be successful. And, you know, obviously having his eyes, you know, wanting to, that's just what he's done, how he done things. He's been successful at it. And so, you know, I just, you know, we're doing our best as a staff to, you know, help him and continue to challenge our players and be the best we can be. And that's just kind of the infrastructure of kind of our defense is structured on game day, and it's worked out.
All right. Thank you for your time, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.